During Thursday's episode of The View, the panel erupted into chaos during yet another ferocious political debate, and Whoopi Goldberg was forced to tell Alyssa Farah Griffin to listen. The Sister Act star decided to speak up after letting Sunny and Alyssa spar for about a minute. She told the panel, "I've been quiet for everybody," and was obviously displeased with her co-stars for raising their voices. Alyssa was also irritated by the discussion because she kept looking over at executive producer Brian Tedda whenever someone cut her off. When she finally had a chance to speak, she was enraged when the theme song began playing as the program was about to cut to commercial. The former White House aide seemed to be in high gear, as she defended former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, but she lost her cool when the music began playing mid-sentence, and she exclaimed, "I had a lot more to say." The camera cut to Whoopi, who gave Alyssa a snide glance before jokingly saying, "Unfortunately, it's only an hour show, so we can't do that." Nikki Haley was undoubtedly a point of contention among the panelists. Sunny, 54, called her a hypocrite, and Alyssa contended that her fellow Republican had offered up respectable ideas and policies during the debate. "This is my issue with Nikki Haley. I was really curious about what she had done when people asked, 'Well, what have you done? What regulations are in place at the U?' Because that's who she is," Whoopi said, as Alyssa cut her off and asserted, "She's a successful two-term governor." But Whoopi was having none of it and retaliated, saying, "Wait a minute, she was an okay governor. She wasn't a great governor. And while you may think she's the cat's meow, I do not." In order to hear someone say, "And here's what we're going to do," I want to hear it when she speaks. Alyssa interrupted Whoopi, asking, "Did you guys all watch it? I thought she did that." Whoopi responded, "Listen, I listen to Republicans. Listen, I've been sitting listening to you, and I've been quiet for everybody. So I'm just saying, yes, you do listen to everyone, you do." Alyssa interrupted once more. Whoopi continued, "I try and I didn't hear the thing I needed to hear as an American, which is, what are you going to do about this? And that, I don't want to know about the wars, the culture wars, and I don't want to hear anyone else talking about culture wars." She omitted to mention it. Whoopi responded, "The whole panel talked about culture wars, and that's the problem for me." Alyssa muttered under her breath. The program then cut to commercial, but when it came back, the panelists were still yelling at one another and discussing the Republican debate. Again attacking Nikki, mother of two. Sunny claimed that fracking is a huge climate change problem, and when Sarah and Alyssa tried to cut her off, she wouldn't allow it. "If I could just finish." The other thing about Nikki Haley is that, like you, Whoopi, I don't think she did a great job as governor, particularly given her tendency to flip-flop. She is a hypocrite because of this, in my opinion. Then Alyssa spoke up once more, saying, "I believe there is something better for this country than another debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. For me, Nikki Haley is the closest." When Joy questioned Nikki about her views on Ukraine, Alyssa immediately responded, saying she wants to help them win the war against Russia. But as she was rambling on, the View theme song began to play, stopping her in her tracks. Joy told Alyssa, "Go ahead, finish your sentence." But she refused and said she had a lot more to say, raising her hands in frustration as she cast a glance over at the show's executive producer Brian. The tension between the hosts wasn't going unnoticed, and soon after, viewers took to X, formerly known as Twitter, to express their opinions. "Whoopi must check Alyssa," she said. "I'm tired of the compressed tone she uses with Sunny, and the lack of respect she shows for Whoopi." One person yelled, "Enough thieview." Someone else commented, "They need to tell Alyssa to stop. She keeps talking over people." By the way Nikki Haley is defending her, you might mistakenly believe that she is her mother. "Let people form their own judgments, thieview." An additional viewer said, "AFG talking over everyone and pushing her Republican bullshit." Another replied, "Yes, speak on it, Whoopi thieview," while a fourth simply said, "Yes." It comes after Whoopi, in a contentious interview with Cassidy Hutchinson, compared Donald Trump's supporters and former workers to members of a cult. During the Trump administration, Cassidy, 27, worked in the White House and served as an assistant to former Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. On Tuesday, a panel grilled Cassidy about her choice to visit the former president's Mar-a-Lago resort Following the attack on the Capitol building on January